Hey guys, the big question, how do you create an effective study timetable? I've been asked that question thousands of times in my time as head performance coach at HSC Coworks, and it's a very important question. And the reason it is very important is because your time is very limited. There are lots and lots of other things that you want to be doing as a 17, 18-year-old when you're preparing for your trials and your HSC. Now, keep in mind, every single human being has 24 hours per day. Now, if we say that we have 10 hours sleep, that'd be nice if I got 10 hours sleep, but let's assume that you're getting 10 hours sleep. That leaves 14 hours of waking hours to apply to getting ready for the exam room. How are you going to use those 14 hours? Now, keeping in mind, there's other things that you want to be doing apart from preparing for the exam room, socializing, school sport, all of those things. So those things need to be taken into consideration. Now, with a study timetable, there is no single formula that is going to work for every student. But these are some questions that I would like you to ask yourself in creating your study timetable. So first of all, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve with this HSC? No doubt, no regrets, ATAR goals, university courses. So keeping those in mind when you're creating your study timetable. How many hours do you have each week realistically to apply to study? 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day? I would be suggesting absolute minimum 5 hours per day to ensure that you are ready for the exam room, but some students will want to notch it up higher than that. Which subjects do you least want to work on when you're studying? Those are the tasks that you should always do first, get them out of the way, and then the other tasks will be so much easier. What does your trial exam timetable look like? Your final HSC exam timetable look like? Obviously, everyone has English paper 1 and paper 2 straight up. Okay, how can you incorporate that fact into your study timetable to make sure that you're ready for the back-to-back exams? How do you perform in each of your exams across the journey? There'll be some, or assessment tasks and exams, sorry. There'll be some topics that you did better in. Okay, which topics need your attention? Which ones don't need your attention? So when we are formulating our study timetable, I've already mentioned this, but I can't stress it enough. You've got to connect why you're doing the study timetable. Why are you doing the study? If you don't connect with that on a daily basis, you will not follow the study timetable. That's just as simple as that. It'll be this beautiful color-coded thing on your wall that means nothing because you haven't linked why you're going to complete those tasks. So a vision board, writing out your goals each day, however you can connect with your why, that's going to allow you to stick to your study timetable. It's also very important that you have a mix of tasks. You can't just do endless practice exams. And maybe some kids can do that, but most students would burn out if all you're doing is practice exam after practice exam after practice exam. So those different types of tasks, lots of memory-based active recall with the foundational content, quotes from memory, syllabus write-outs, syllabus mind maps. Those tasks are kind of 5-10 minutes at a time, and they're momentum builders. And you're doing those tasks in those moments where you don't really feel like doing anything else. All right, I'll do a mind map from memory. And then when you get to doing your practice essay, it'll be much stronger because of the mind maps that you've been training with and quotes from memory. Writing out 12 quotes from memory, that's going to take you about 3 minutes. It's going to put you in a better position to write practice essays when you get to that. Filling gaps, reworking essays, targeting your efforts towards those weaknesses. So that will require you to go back, look through your resources, your content, your notes, your textbook, and fill those gaps. Those are your targeted efforts. Then we've got practice essays. You've got to be able to write essays within 40 minutes, and the only way anyone can do that is by writing practice essay after practice essay. But if you've done the active recall around your quotes and foundational content that go into your essay, that's going to make that so much easier for you. And then, of course, practice exams, the big one. Building up towards full 3-hour exams under full exam conditions. Now, you'll note here that really, I think I only mentioned the word notes once. Notes A lot of students will focus on notes and it turns into a form of glorified procrastination, because what would you rather do? Notes or a practice essay? Notes or a practice exam? Every single student would rather work on notes. Notes, as I said, a form of glorified procrastination. I've got a 9-year-old son. He is capable of doing notes. If you insist that you must finish your notes, make sure that you are doing all those other tasks that I mentioned, active recall, practice essays, practice exams, concurrently while you're getting your notes in order. But please, please, please don't say, I need to finish all of my notes before I go over and work on these exam style tasks, practice essays and so on, because all you're saying is, I'm kicking the can down the road and I'll deal with it later. And if you deal with it later, based on my experience, you're going to be stressed, you're going to be overwhelmed. We've got to make incremental progress towards being ready rather than saying later I'll do the practice exams. So I hope that's helped you develop a very strong study timetable so that you can make the most of your limited time and walk into that exam room full of confidence and walk out of your final exam room with no regrets. Let's climb.